Welcome to Tech Tools for Test Success, your video tutorial guide to mastering every trick and technique in taking an online state test. This is the second tutorial in our series, General Tools and Usage. What are we doing today? Well, this tutorial will help us learn how to navigate through an online state test and use the basic tools available in both math and English language arts tests. As we work, feel free to explore the online tools used in the video. Pause the playback whenever you want to apply any of the tools I discuss. Remember that this only works if you do. Begin by signing into nextgen.nwoca.org. That's nextgen.nwoca.org. This site holds the tutorial software we will use to master today's tools. When you log into nextgen.nwoca.org, you'll see a page that looks like this. We'll scroll down a little bit and look at the left sidebar. Today we'll be using the PARCC Practice Middle School 6 to 8 test. Don't worry if you're in high school. This test still shows the same basic tools and usage that you'll find there. Click on the button. This will load a test nav simulation. You can click on Start Test Now and then Start Section. This is the basic window of an online Ohio State test. This is English Language Arts. The English Language Arts window looks very similar to the math window in many respects. Let's talk first about navigation. You can navigate forward and backward from question to question by using the buttons in the top left. Click on the blue button to move to the next question and the next question. You'll notice that you can move backwards as well. You don't need to answer a question before moving forward. Move backward and forward using the left and right buttons in the top left-hand side of the screen. You'll also navigate by scrolling through a window. Scrolling can be accomplished in a couple of different ways. First, you can click on a scroll bar to move up and down by using either the trackpad or a mouse. Embedded windows also have a scroll bar. However, this can be a little bit difficult, especially if you're using a trackpad. We recommend that you scroll up and down instead by using the wheel on a mouse or a two-finger swipe up and down on a Chromebook trackpad. If you're swiping up and down with two fingers or using the wheel on a mouse, you'll find yourself much better able to scroll through a window. If you're fighting with a scroll bar, chances are you're becoming frustrated and distracted from the actual test. Practice and master scrolling with a wheel or a two-finger swipe. You'll find it much easier to navigate through a window. Next, let's take a look at the drop-down accessibility menu. You can find that up in the top right-hand corner. Where it says Guest, you will see your own name once you log in. Next to your name, you can drop down the menu and see a number of accessibility features. Accessibility features refer to you changing the way a test looks or how you manipulate a test to make it easier for you to read. Let's start with the first. Change the background and foreground color. Clicking on this will pull up a window of contrast settings. You can choose how you want the font and background colors to appear on the page. I can choose, for instance, a white on black scheme or a light blue on dark blue scheme. I can pick black on light blue. Let's say that I will work with black on cream right now. I prefer that because it is easier on my eyes. You should choose each selection and find one that is easy for you to read. If it's easy for you to read the text, you're more likely to succeed. Experiment now with all the different color contrast settings. Find one that works for you. Make sure that you have experimented with this before you start the test. You do not want to waste time on the test experimenting with color contrast settings. You want only to take the test itself easily and efficiently. Once you're finished with the color contrast settings, click Continue. Let's go back to the drop-down accessibility menu. Let's work with the magnifier. The magnifier is just what it sounds like. It pulls up a square that acts as a magnifying glass. If the font on a certain section is a little too small, then you can magnify it. The same goes for any portion of mathematics. If the magnifier doesn't work quite well for you because you want to magnify the entire screen, you can do that as well through the zoom function. Let's turn the magnifier off first. Click on the drop-down menu and click on the check mark next to magnifier. That will turn it off. If you wish to magnify everything in the window, hold down on the Control key and press plus. Press it again. This will continue to zoom all of the font within the window. Holding down on Control and pressing minus and minus again will zoom back out. Find a comfortable zoom magnification for yourself. Remember, you don't want to zoom in too much because that means you won't be able to read much on the screen. Find a comfortable balance so you can read more easily. Let's go back down to the drop-down menu and check the line reader. The line reader will pull up a filter that you can click and drag around the window. The purpose of the line reader is to help you read line by line. Some students like to read line by line by using a ruler or possibly their hand to mask font that they don't want to read, so they can only read one line at a time. The line reader is the same tool that will help you accomplish the same task. The line reader can be manipulated and sized. Click on a grip bar to magnify or expand the size of the line reader. Click on the grip bar here to contract it. You can even expand or contract the window through which you see the font. Move the line reader around the page so that you can see how well it helps you read. Remember that this, like all accessibility tools, is only there if it helps you. If you find the line reader an assistance to your reading, then use it. If you find it distracting and difficult to use, then turn it off. Now we'll look at the last of the drop-down accessibility options, answer masking. When you log into a test, you may find that answer masking is automatically turned on, and this means that each answer in a multiple choice or multiple select will be covered up. You can click on this button to the right to uncover the answer. Some students like answer masking because it allows them to read one answer at a time. Some students also like it because answer masking will allow you to cover answers that you are sure are incorrect. However, if you decide that you don't like answer masking, you can simply turn it off by pulling the drop-down menu and clicking the check mark. That will turn off answer masking not only for the item on which you are working, but also for subsequent items. If I turn answer masking on here for item 4, and then I move back to item 3, the answer masking will appear again. I can turn on or off simply by clicking to the right, but if you don't wish to deal with the distraction, simply turn it off globally. Now let's take a look at the toolbar at the top of the window. You'll see a number of buttons that you can access for different tools applicable to both math and English language arts. Right now we're on the pointer. The pointer will allow me to select answers for multiple choice. It will also allow me to highlight and select and click and drag. Next to the pointer, you'll find the answer eliminator. When I click on the answer eliminator, that will allow me to mark a red X over multiple choice and multiple select answers that I believe are incorrect. If I have marked a red X over the wrong answer, I click on it again and that red X disappears. On a paper test, students might like to cross off answers that they know are incorrect. The online state test will allow you the same function simply by clicking over the answer that you are hovering over. The red X's will appear and stay even if you move to the next item and move back. So if you know that you've X'd out 2 obviously incorrect answers, but you are not yet finished with the item, you can move on and still rely on those X's to appear the next time that you're there. If you're ready to answer, click out of the answer eliminator and into the pointer, and this will allow you to answer the question. Now let's move forward to Item 7. Item 7 is a click and drag item. Let's read Part B. Select evidence from the article that best supports the answer in Part A. Drag 2 sentences from the list and drop them into the evidence box. You can see all of your options here. By clicking and dragging, you will answer the question. The evidence box looks rather small. However, you can see that 1 and 2 pieces of evidence will fit as the evidence box resizes to accommodate. If you decide that one of these answers is not correct, you can simply drag it back into its original location. Drag it far back into its original location and we'll leave the evidence box. Practice clicking and dragging. Clicking and dragging on a trackpad can be a little bit trickier than clicking and dragging on a mouse. Make sure that you've practiced and mastered it. Let's move back to item number 1. Use the navigation to move back to that screen. Let's imagine that I've answered B for Part A, but I'm not quite sure about Part B. I answered B for Part B, but I'm not sure about the answer. What if I want to come back later as I have time? I can flag an answer for a return. Up here, you'll find a flag button. I can flag the question for review. If I click on flag, you won't see anything appear on this screen, except that the flag button will be depressed. I'll see the flag when I go to the review. Check the test overview by clicking on review. You'll see a list of all of the items that you have answered, not answered, or perhaps not even viewed. Question 1 has been answered but flagged, so I know that I can return to it after I've finished with the rest of the questions. I can filter the list of questions for only those not answered or for only those flagged. This will easily allow me to go to questions that I wish to address again. I may wish to view simply by clicking View. On the review screen, clicking on View will take me immediately to the question that I wish to address. It's a bit like a fast forward. Let's fast forward to number 9. Question number 9 shows a difference between multiple choice and multiple select. On multiple choice items, next to the letter you will see a circle that you can use the pointer to answer. Multiple select are questions like Part A. Which 2 statements best describe central ideas of the video? When you see a square, you'll know that you should answer more than one item. It could be 2, it could be 3. But on a multiple select, you can answer more than one. Click in 2 here to answer the question. In Part B, you'll also see a 2 answer item. Click in 2 squares to answer the question. Notice that in item 8, both questions have circles, and that means that they're multiple choice. Only one answer is required. Let's look at the last general tool, the video player. Occasionally, you will not read a text, but you will watch a video in the video player that is embedded in the window. When you click on the play button, this video will function much like a YouTube video does.
She is the most famous female pilot in history. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be learning more about the life and accomplishments of Amelia Earhart.
I can click on it to pause. I can click here or click here to restart.
Born July 24, 1897 in Atchison, Kansas, Earhart first became...
I can modify and adjust the volume as well through this scroll bar to the right.
Interested in air travel.
I can even use this button to maximize the video window so I can watch it in full screen.
She and her father took a trip to an airfield for a 10-minute flight. Following this, she took odd jobs.
I can also use the scroll bar to advance to a specific point in the video. Now, when you watch the video through the first time, you may wish to watch it through entirely without fast-forwarding or rewinding. But let's take a look at Part A here of this question. You'll notice that Part A makes a specific reference to a timestamp within the video, 1 minute and 4 seconds. If you wish to review what is going on in the video at that time, you can simply scroll back a little bit before the 1 minute and 4 seconds and
keen
press play.
to have one. While she was admired by some as a preeminent female pilot, others merely qualified her skill as adequate. Either way, she had amassed an impressive 500 unaccompanied flying hours by 1927.
That has allowed me to review the snippet of video that is relevant to the question, and it takes me about 10 or 15 seconds to do so. The power of manipulation and magnification that you have with the video player allows you to make sure that you're watching the video as you should to answer each question successfully. Those are all the general tools that are applicable to both math and English language arts. We've discussed navigating back and forth, scrolling, the drop-down accessibility menu with color contrast, zoom and magnification, the line reader, and answer masking, the pointer, the answer eliminator, drag and drop items, multiple choice and multiple select items, flagging questions and the review screen, and manipulating and using the video player. If you master each one of these particular tools, you can prepare for success on the English and math online state tests. Good luck.